we must fully appreciate, feel, seize the unseen.
All right, guys, welcome back to the stream. It's your boy Cool S here again at it with another great day of gaming. Just got done with the Pokemon ZA live streams. If you guys, if anybody who ended up watching those does want me to revisit that game, had a ton of fun with it. I'm still playing it on my free time. Um, Definitely think I'm gonna chop up some video of some of the footage that we got from the initial gameplay. But I don't think that we're gonna be kind of moving forward with playing Pokemon. This stream, I always kind of initially uh saw myself playing Civ full time, and that's actually what I talked to most people about when I told them what I would be streaming. So today we're actually going to do our first live stream of Civ. So super excited to get that rolling. Super grateful for everybody who's gone back and watched some of those Pokemon live streams, though. So if you do want to see some of that content, please let me know. Definitely would love to oblige that because I'm still playing that game and I can just hop on and record it whenever. So yeah, really, really excited to be moving into our Civ chapter here. So today, the setup is a little bit different with Civ than it is on the Nintendo Switch because I'm using a capture card. So if I do have a little bit of technical issues, please let me know. Like I said, and I have been saying, I am definitely growing and learning from this process. So please let me know if there's anything I need to change, especially if you're here live with me in the chat. Game volume, things like that, definitely provide me that feedback. I'm trying to make the stream as clear and easy to understand and perfect for you guys as I possibly can. So yeah, we're gonna jump pretty much right into a new game here. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Civ viewer. So here we go, we're in game. Hopefully you guys are getting that audio. I tested it out before I jumped in, so I do think that it should be. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because I'm confident that I'm probably really loud and the game is probably really loud. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me turn it down for myself a bit. Okay, so here we go. Our first Civ live stream, super fun. So, as you guys can see here, we were playing Tecumseh. This screen always shows you who you were playing last. For anyone who is new to Civilization, this game has definitely had a little bit of a rocky up and down launch. I personally really loved the game. I'm really excited. They made a huge change to the game with the recent patch. They added a bunch of new UI elements, information for the players, for us to be able to really get a better understanding of the moves that we're making. And so today we're going to get a new game started. We're going to go through picking out our leader and the civs that we're going to play for this playthrough. And I'm gonna try to take it real slow, and we're gonna learn together some of these new AI elements or the UI elements, as well as some of the new strategies, because with the new changes, they also did a big balance update where before, if you don't know, you can in the game build cities and towns. Those are different. Cities are kind of the more advanced version of a town, obviously, where you can build more types of buildings that give you different yields than you can in a town. But they made it harder for you to build cities now. So before, you would just be spamming out cities and upgrading as many of your buildings as possible. You no longer can do that. The cost of buildings is much higher. The cost of cities is much higher. So we are going to have to take that into account when we're playing, which is why I'm going to be taking it real slow. And I think it's going to be great for the stream because initially we're just going to kind of do a little playthrough, and hopefully I can explain some of the moves that I'm making and the choices that we go along on this playthrough. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. We're going to do a new game. And for the leader here that we are going to pick, I was debating lots. So obviously, Lakshmi Bai here is the new leader that they just introduced in the recent patch update, and she seems really, really fun. If we kind of read through some of her unique abilities, we have 50% influence towards initiating the city-state incorporation action. And when you incorporate a city-state, you gain all of their units. And again, if you haven't played Civ, there's a big map and you got all your different civilizations. So I could be going against Isabella and Spain. I could be going against Harriet Tubman and the Mississippians. So those are your primary civilizations that you're going against. But on the map, there are also smaller cities that don't belong to a particular civilization, and those are called city-states. And that's what you can see here that Lakshmi Bai says that she kind of has some bonuses towards. The incorporation action is a really cool one where basically you, through diplomacy, gain that city, the city state into your civilization. And she has a really unique ability where when you do that, you gain all of their military units, get put into your military. So that could be I could see a lot of really cool situations where you build up a big military through diplomacy, where you can tactically incorporate cities for defensive purposes. I'm definitely gonna be doing a playthrough with her, but today is not that day. What I do, so again, just to kind of explain a little bit about how I played this game, and this might be a controversial take because I know the modding community for this game is amazing, and I've seen some really cool informational mods. I've seen lots of cool things that people are doing on Discord servers to help level up their characters. I am gonna call myself, how do I want to say this, either a pure gamer, or I just play this game raw. That's how I'm gonna say it. I play Civ absolutely raw. I'm not leveling up through pre-saved, loaded up games that have a bunch of things completed. Each of the levels that you see here on my characters has been through genuine games that I've played through, trying to achieve the objectives to level up these characters. And really what I've been doing is selecting characters, not, and this is again a little controversial probably, not necessarily based on, do I think they're the best? Do I think they're the coolest? Am I the most interested in them? No. What I have been doing is going through and picking out which leaders have mementos that I want to unlock. And so again, if you don't know what a memento is something that you can add to your leader. It's like a little bonus power-up that you get to choose at the beginning of each age that is basically your little way of customizing what your leader's specialties are. And the way that you unlock these extra power-ups is by leveling up certain leaders. So for example, we have Ada Lovelace here. This is our character that I do think we are going to end up playing today. And here you can see each of these leaders has 3 mementos that you can unlock per leader. So you can see for Ada, we have punch cards is the first one. And this says gain 20 science per age for every science building constructed. Now, that is pretty good. Now, the science buildings, actually, this one's a little tough. If it's just flat science per science building, especially now with the new nerf, this is pretty terrible. But this is just the first one. So if we scroll down, we have the piano, and so her last 2 are the ones that I'm really trying to upgrade. So we have piano. So piano says 10% culture towards studying civic masteries. So this is a really great bonus because if you want to be moving through your civic tree, this allows you to gain those civic masteries a lot quicker. And this is a really great one to have for lots of styles of gameplays. It's a very versatile one for lots of leaders if I am going to be going towards a more culturally centered playthrough. So this is a memento that I really want to unlock as soon as possible. And especially this one down here, this Note G. This is one that I think is really interesting, especially moving forward. As I do think that the investment in your civics and technologies are just going to continue to be more valuable. We have Note G says, every time you research a technology or a civic mastery, the capital gains production equal to 15% of its cost. So this can be a really great way of supplementing your production, which is again even more valuable than ever with the new changes to cities and buildings. And all I need to do that is continue to invest in what I already want to do, which is completing civics and technologies. And especially with Ada, this is something that she wants to be doing. All of her gameplay is based around completing the tech and civic masteries. So this is one that I'm really excited to unlock. So I'm going to be playing a couple of games with Ada Lovelace in order to get to level 9 and unlock this memento. So we're gonna hop in. Let's go ahead, do new game. We're gonna select Ada Lovelace. So right here, right away, this is perfect transition. We are going to hop in and select some mementos for the beginning of our game here. So as you can see, we have all of these options. I have a couple of them that I've already unlocked, and then some of the kind of more base versions. Now, let's look at Ada's power, actually, before we select our mementos. So she says, cities receive +2 science per age when you complete a civic mastery. This resets at the start of each age. So the first thing with Ada that we know we really want to do because of this bonus is build a lot of cities. The more cities we have, the more settlements get this +2 science bonus per age when you complete a civic mastery. And that means we want to build the cities as quickly as possible. So those are big keys for us when we start our game. Those are 2 objectives that we know we want to be doing as quickly as possible. We want to build our settlements, and we want to upgrade them to cities, and then we want to start flying through the civic mastery tree so that we get the +2 bonus per age in science for each of those cities. So that's going to be a big objective. And then it says gain culture equal to 50% of your total science per turn when you complete a technology mastery. And so if you guys can see, these are really great abilities because they have direct synergy with each other. As you complete the civic mastery, your cities gain science. And as you gain more science, you gain more culture when you complete a tech mastery because you're gaining 50% culture. You're gaining culture based off 50% of your total science, which when you complete a civic mastery, your cities get more science. So it just continues to build on each other, and she's a great balanced leader for both culture and science. And as you can see, those are her 2 specific victory trees that she specializes in. So really excited to use Ada. I have used her before. It says I'm level 1, but I think my 2K account got a little messed up because I've been going back and forth between my Switch. I know that is a controversial take, playing Civ on the Switch, but it is pretty cool. Maybe I'll show you some of that gameplay at some point as well. But right now we are playing the Mac OS. Again, another controversial take, controversial gamer here. The Mac OS version of this game. So, okay. So we know we want to build cities. We know we want to upgrade them quick. And then we know we want to fly through our mastery trees. So that's going to be our biggest goals for this game. We're going to go add a memento. So let's see what options. Obviously, diplomatic points are very strong. This one I do think I might be doing because getting out really quickly and building a upgrade, having the extra 200 gold to be able to upgrade to a city is really important early in the game. Like I said, because we want to be upgrading quick. We also have, let's see, start with, no, we don't need a social policy slot. Commander recovery time's awful. Trade range awful. We're not going to be really focusing too much on city states, so we don't need to do that. So this is one that I'm thinking. This is one that's a little interesting. So this one is +1 settlement limit per age, which is probably one of the strongest abilities that you can have in the game. But it's plus 50% convert to city costs. So that when I say that we want to build settlements and then upgrade them to cities, this makes that second part a lot harder, upgrading them to a city. But it does allow us to get more settlements out early. So as good as this ability is, I don't think this is one that we're going to end up going with for this playthrough. I think I'm leaning towards Lydian Lion as one of them. So we'll just place that there for now. Bifocals is a really good one. So we talked about before, we're going to be trying to acquire tech and civic masteries as quickly as possible, and this allows us to gain more influence every single time we do that. Now that's really awesome. Ada does want to have influence, is one of the most important currencies in this game, yields in this game, and this just really synergizes perfectly with all of Ada's abilities. So this one is actually one that we'll consider. 10% science towards researching tech masteries. Obviously, this is a strong one for us. Let's go ahead and look one more time at what happens when she gains. So this is where we gain culture equal to 50% of your total science when I complete a tech mastery. So you know what's actually funny is I do think, even though this seems like it synergizes extremely well with Ada, and it probably does if you use it in a certain way, I actually think that this could end up hurting us, because if we're flying too quickly through our tech masteries, or actually let me put it this way, we only want to start doing our tech masteries when we've built up a lot of science, because right, this says we gain culture equal to 50% of our science when we complete a tech mastery. So that means we want to have a nice healthy amount of science before we start to complete these tech masteries. And if we have a lot of science, that means we're going to complete the tech masteries really quickly. So why do we necessarily want to have another 10% bonus towards completing those masteries if we want to have a lot of science? So I don't think we actually want to do this one. I think that's a little bit of a trap momentum. This one could be good because we are going to be building science, but I don't think we're going to do that. Let's see. I know this is probably not the most exciting part of the game, but all of these choices are really, really important for when you load up the game, because these are going to be the passive bonuses that really set your character apart for the rest of this game. So we're gonna just go with a pretty standard build. Obviously this is not leaning into any science or culture. We're not doing diplomatic points. Well, okay, so the only other one that I am considering is doing a attribute point in the expansionist tree. And the reason that I might be doing this is because this would allow us to get a settler very fast. And the settler getting out quickly allows us to, you know what, I am going to do this. I am going to just lean all the way in. I'm gonna get gold, and I'm gonna get our settler as quickly as possible. The reason that we're gonna go with this, even though we are gonna be sacrificing some of that tasty influence from our bifocals from Benjamin Franklin, I do think this is ultimately going to be the best strategy for us. And we're actually going to load the game while I finish explaining the okay, actually we got to pick our antiquity civilization. So the reason why I am going to go with these two mementos is because like I said at the beginning, I want to fly out the gates and I want to build settlements, and then I want to convert those to cities. The Lydian Lion is going to give me 200 gold in the early game that allows me to not only be more flexible with what I choose in terms of the units that I'm building, but it is going to help me with building or upgrading my cities or my settlements, my towns, to cities more quickly. And with that attribute point going into the expansionist tree, that is going to allow me to get a settler out quickly, because I do believe it's 25% bonus towards building settlers with the first point of the expansionist tree. So that's going to allow me to establish my cities quickly and then upgrade them to cities as fast as possible, so then I can start cranking out the civic mastery tree, and that will allow me to gain science on my cities. And then once I start to complete the once I start building up a healthy amount of science, I can then transition myself into the tech masteries and start recouping a lot of the culture that I'll gain from investing in science. So I think that's going to be the best start. But now let's go ahead and look at what civ we want to play. So this is one that I was really considering as well, the Scylla, the brand new civilization that just got introduced in the last patch. So with Ada, we really want to focus early game, right, on building up our culture, because when we complete civic, we're not going to have any help with the civic masteries right now. So the civic masteries are what gives us science, and our end goal is to build a lot of science. Now we could just go straight rush for science. That is a viable strategy, and honestly something that we are eventually going to want to do. But because we do get some science back when we get culture right away, I am thinking that I might want to pick a civilization that has a culture specific building that helps us move into gaining more science. So the Han this isn't a culture building, but it does allow us to supplement some of our culture with the Great Wall. And then they also have additional science in some of their production trees, as well as gaining an additional population. That really helps with building out our towns, getting some extra early resources, and it's kind of snowballing into our late game. So this is one that I am really heavily considering doing the Han. Greece is another one that could be great for us because we do get some of that influence. Greece is by far the best influence civilization in the game for antiquity, and they do have that Parthenon culture building that we could really utilize, but they do want to be incorporating city-states, which we are probably not going to be doing a whole lot of. Obviously they like Rome. I was trying to roam out a lot early in my kind of playthroughs, and I don't love them. I do like some other antiquity era civilizations a little bit better. This is one that is really interesting. Oh no, those are two happiness buildings. So here we do have a science building that we could do. Now this is, Maya's obviously great with every single civilization out there, so I am going to try to avoid using Maya just because they are just always insane. What other ones have culture buildings? Let's check. So the Egypt, yeah, but we just don't want to play Egypt. So I think I am gonna do Han. That might be a little bit of an easy choice, even though it's not one of the recommendeds. It's definitely either Greece or the Han. I think we're gonna go with Han. I'm gonna go ahead and try that. So and then just to kind of give us a little preview here, we'll probably, even though they just got nerfed, I probably will end up going with Abbasid again. They just are so dang good at building buildings, which is what we want to be doing in our cities, and it does give us extra science and culture, which is exactly what Ada wants to be doing. So that is going to be a strong candidate. Ming is another one that there is a good chance that we do. Definitely really love the Ming. Majapahit, yeah, Majapahit, sorry, excuse me. Majapahit is another one that's really, really good. They have the increased specialist limit, which Ada is going to want to be doing a lot of as well. So that could be one. And obviously I am always looking to play a Hawaii game, so if we do have a very marine heavy kind of territory, Hawaii can actually be really strong because it gets you tons of culture to fly through your civic masteries, then it boosts your science, and then you kind of snowball from there. So for now, we're going to go back to antiquity. We are going to select the Han, and we are going to load up our game. Okay, and then we're going to talk about the settings that we're playing on. So I am always doing the Deity difficulty. That is my preferred difficulty. I do think that if you're starting this game, just go ahead and start playing on Deity. Unless you've never played a Civ game before, obviously, then that is a little bit tough. But in my opinion, the best way to play this game is to play it how you're gonna, to learn the game from the ground up on the difficulty that you want to play. The AI just plays so differently when you use different difficulty settings that I just think it is great to learn how to start and finish a game on Deity so that you know how to plan out your turns, exactly how you're going to want to play them. You might have to do a couple of resets. You may have to reset 150 turns into the game because you made a small mistake. That is how you play Civilization. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. Highly recommend playing on Deity. The AI is not even that hard. Now, I could come out and get smoked on this first game, and we'll all laugh together, but I do think that that is the best way to start playing this game. We're going to be playing on standard speed, map type. This has been a controversial thing for everybody. I have been playing on the Pangea Plus, or the Pangea and Islands. I do think that those kind of give you a really good center kind of map to work off of, and then you can go off and explore kind of some of the side. This one it gives you one kind of big central area of the map, and then gives you a few bigger islands with some smaller ones kind of mixed in. I do tend to like that gameplay. I like having a bigger central map where most of the civilizations are, and then kind of in the later stages when you get into the exploration or the modern age, then you kind of want to start island hopping, things like that. Sorry, my camera is going into AI mode. We don't want that. Okay, sorry. Our AI overlords are taking over. Okay, and I am going to do a large map as well because I like to play with a lot of civs. We're going to do the standard continuity setting. I do think that was a great change for the game. And let's go ahead and launch our Ada Lovelace Han civilization game here. So don't forget, guys, as we're loading up here, just want to take a second to thank you for joining the stream or watching if you do end up stopping by, and two, if you could please drop a like on the channel, on the stream, give the channel a subscribe to catch some of our future civilization content.
And see
sorry.
what new horizons you can imagine.
Okay, that is something I need to learn how to remember. We cannot be talking over the queen herself, Brienne of Tarth, Gwendolyn Christie. If you've just watched Severance, and really cool to see her hop in there. Shout out Apple TV. Pretty awesome. So I need to remember when I start new games to let Captain Phasma talk. Okay, here we go, friends. Our first venture into civilization together. So excited. Let's take a second and just look at how cool this freaking game is. And I'm actually really excited to do this and go nice and slow with y'all because I don't do this a lot. Obviously, when I'm on my own, I'm just kind of flying through the game. But look at the details in this game. Like, I love the character models. This is the unique settler for the Han civilization. We've got our little 4-person caravan with this poor ox that's just carrying everything for them. Got some great cliffs. We got some elephants down here that we're gonna be friends with. Pretty awesome. So the first thing that we are gonna want to do before I even look at the map is I want to go right up here. See how we got that little one? I'm gonna press on that. We're gonna go to our expansionist tree, and we're going to get our 25% production towards training settlers. That is so important to do because if you don't spend that point, you don't get that bonus. And I have done it countless times where I just start flying into the game and I don't spend my attribute points. Excuse me, I was searching for the words there. I don't spend my attribute point, and then I play like 15 turns into the game and I'm not getting my attribute bonus, and it is just such a bummer when that happens. So gonna want to start there. Now with our start, so we have a couple of options, but really only one option. We can decide to move our settler. If we do, generally the game wants you to settle in place. It wants you to just put your city right where it spawns you for the first time. The way that the maps are generated, it does kind of plan for you to be on this tile. If I were to move, it would kind of change things and change where some of those, we were discussing city states before, where some of those city states end up. I'm not planning on necessarily playing a city state focused game, so it may not be the worst idea for me to move this guy. Now, I do have a couple of issues with the starting point. When you are looking to build the city, you do want to be able to build as many buildings around your city center as possible. And here I have 2 of these tiles that I won't be able to necessarily build on. I will be able to build like a fishing or water-based buildings on this tile, but we don't necessarily unlock those for some time. And then you can't build buildings on a resource, so I won't be able to do that here. We do These are pretty tough resources to have. They're pretty bad early game. They'll be good later when they turn into production and happiness. But this right here, production towards wonders placed on tropical plains and desert terrain, we don't love that. But we'll take the silver for sure. Gold and food in all settlements. I will definitely take that. I think we are going to just decide to settle in place here because I don't see any obvious kind of places that would improve. Maybe I could have gone here, trade one resource for another. 1, 2, 3. We could have still got the hides, but I do think just kind of settling in place, getting hides as quickly as possible, because this does give us 3 production here, is probably going to be the way that we want to go. So here is our building screen. How do we want to start this game? I am very partial to building 2 scouts. I like to explore the map as quickly as I possibly can, just so that we can start getting some of our goodie huts and meeting other civilizations and potentially starting to get some of those endeavors going, which help us with our yields. So let's go ahead and go to our next turn.
The radiance of the new world
Technology
came into
unlocked.
being, bathed in nectar, bathed in love.
Sorry, Gwendolyn. The radiance of the new world came into being, bathed in nectar, bathed in love. I'm gonna let Gwendolyn read those from now on, but I talked over her, so. Okay, so we have unlocked agriculture. So now we're going to choose our first technology. So this is one of the most important things that we are going to do, is picking out which path we are going to go down. So again, our main so when we're looking at this, right, we know our main objectives are eventually to unlock these tech masteries, but we are actually not going to be unlocking tech masteries for some time. So we really want to look at which of the main technologies, these kind of big ones, right, we want to go for. And even though there are some great bonuses, like especially on the masonry mastery, these production towards production buildings is a great mastery, but I am not going to plan on getting that, at least for some time. So we want to look at what is going to be the most valuable for us in the short term. Now, I think, let's see here. So production on camps and woodcutters. Building a brickyard is nice. That gives us production on clay pits. Mines and quarries also get a bonus if we build a brickyard. So let's go ahead and look back at our city. So we have, see, this says improve here to get a farm. This will be a woodcutter. This will also be a woodcutter. This is a mine, and then this will also be a mine. So we have 2 mines. We have lots of mine opportunities. Once we start to expand out, we do have a few woodcutters as well. But we're gonna want to get the hides first, because that's gonna give us the most immediate. Do I want to get hides first? I mean, it is 3 production. That is really strong. This is also a mine, and this is also a mine. Okay, I do think, let's see. This is actually a tough choice. Food on plantations, production on clay pits, camps and woodcutters. Really tough choice here. Really tough choice. We also do want to get the monument though as well. We are going to start with husbandry, and then we're gonna get masonry, and then well, we'll probably get husbandry, probably husbandry, masonry, pottery. Because even though so a lot of people will tell you to rush writing. That is a very common build, because they want to get to unlock the science building as quickly as possible. I personally don't think that is something that I want to be doing right now. I want to get to see how our monument gives us +3 culture there. I want to get to our monument as quickly as possible. We want to be unlocking the civic masteries as much as we possibly can, and this is going to allow us to do that. It's going to allow us to get influence, and it's going to allow us to increase our production. Once we do that, then I think we can kind of go back and boost our science after that. And these 3 are all going to be really, really, really valuable for us. So we're going to go ahead and start with that. And now we have our scout. So with the scout, the way that I have seen is generally the best. So we see here, this is the end of the map. This is the Game of Thrones Beyond the Wall North, we don't go here area of the map. So you can see we only have a little bit of land to explore between our capital city and the edge of the map. So that means we definitely want to send our scout downward to explore what is below us, because we know we have more map to explore this way. And in terms of left or right, you really can go forever. So we know that there's ocean here, so I do think that I am going to send him down to 1 tile down this way, and you can see he has 1 of 2 movement left over. And with that movement, I'm going to press this search button right here, and it is going to search around us. So we did get 2 goody huts. Unfortunately, those are ocean-based goody huts. So that means we're going to want to unlock sailing semi-early if we can. And what I do mean, to clarify, what I mean by a goody hut is a... well, I'll show you, I guess. Let's back out of this. What I mean by a goody hut is one of these things right here. So these are little... what do I call them? Little... they do sometimes literally look like little huts. This is a coastal one, a coastal edifice. When you send a unit to these, you get little bonuses. So they're like little treasure chests, is if you want to call it that. And so we did unlock 2, 1 here and 1 here. You do need to have an ocean unit that is able to go in there, or there is a technology. If we go to sailing here, it says... allows all standard land units to traverse coastal terrain. So that means that I'd be able to send a basic scout or a infantry unit or something into the water to claim this. So eventually we are going to want to unlock sailing, maybe even a little earlier than we were planning on doing, to be able to ensure that we get this sailing, or to ensure that we're able to claim these goody huts as quickly as possible. So let's go ahead and look here. So we did decide to go with animal husbandry, right? So that is going to give us a bonus to our pastures, which means that we want to get to the hides as quickly as possible so that we get a lot going there. And this is actually amazing because this is going to give us food and happiness to start. Then we're going to turn it into a mine that's going to also give us production. So this is a great one to start with because we do want to get as much food early as possible. And then because we're the Han, so usually to start the game you only get to pick out 1 of these tiles, but the Han have a unique ability, and we'll go check out what that says specifically. Excuse me. The Han here says, where is our unique ability? The capital and new towns gain an additional population with their first growth event. So we're having our first growth event. We are picking out our first tile that we want one of our civilians to inhabit. So that's what I just picked. I picked the salt mine to be our first population. So then we're going to go over to here and we're going to select the hides and build a camp here. We get to pick out 2 because we're the Han, so we're able to claim 2 resources on our first turn, which is definitely awesome. And the salt is giving us a bonus towards training units, which is so good actually early. Now that I really think about it, that was the best possible thing that we could do, because we're going to get a bonus towards building our scouts and our warriors that we weren't even planning on having, and we get the production from the hides themselves. So that is a great bonus. As you can see, we have those 2 resources slotted in here, so that is going to be an amazing start. We do have a couple other camps that we can claim. I do think that that we're probably going to end up claiming this, but we have some mines that we're going to be able to start working. So I do actually really think that this ended up being a great start location for us, and we're going to have a good start to this game. Okay, so where do we want to send our scout? Do we want to send him more to the east, or do we want to send him south? Let's go ahead and send this one south. Okay, so we unlocked more ocean. So he's going to end up going east because I don't believe it's going to allow us to go further south. So we're going to send him over. So we got a mountain range forming here. You see here, I do think this is probably either just the ocean tile, or it's going to go one more land tile and then be surrounded by water. If it does end up being a little bit of a land bridge to the other continent, that'll be a little annoying that we didn't go that way, but that is fine. We'll send a unit down there eventually. That is easily claimable. Okay, so we have 2 scouts now. Now you would think, look it, we haven't seen anybody around us, no barbarians. This should be nice and safe for us to start building a granary. I am going to say nope. We are going to build a warrior first, and then we're going to see from there whether or not we feel safe. So we're going to move this scout 1 space, and that ended his turn because it is a rough terrain. That is fine. On deity difficulty, you really want to be making sure that your military is built up. That is why I'm building this warrior, even though we do not have any signs of war and even a nice mountain range and the ocean protecting our capital city. The barbarians will come after you. People will start to pick on you if you don't have a bigger military. So highly recommend building at least a warrior by your 3rd unit. It is going to save you so many games of having to restart. Okay, so we used our searchability again. Another ocean goody hut. That is frustrating, but we did get one right here. So sailing is going to provide us a little bit more immediate value when we unlock that than it normally does. Normally sailing is something that I kind of push off towards later in the technology tree because just don't love playing the kind of ocean-based gameplay unless I'm doing a civ that is specifically designed to do that, like Hawaii. So we did unlock, okay, so 2 big things happened here. So we unlocked a new city-state. What is it? Shengle, yeah, of the Xianbei people. So this is a city-state that I can eventually befriend. They are, what is it, military? Yeah, military-based city-state. So they are going to be quite aggressive towards me. That is one of the reasons why I built up this warrior. While we're talking about the warrior, I'm actually going to send him down here to discover this tile because I can easily retreat him back into my city to keep myself safe. So it is okay to kind of just move him down here for a couple of turns and then move him back. But I unlocked this city-state over here on the right. But then we also ran into this guy, this little scout. This scout indicates that there is another city-state somewhere over here that we're going to have to pay attention to. So we're going to be keeping that in mind. And just because we did see our friends over here to the right, I am going to build another warrior to just ensure that our capital is safe and sound, and that we don't get ambushed by any other civs. Allows us to continue to unlock maps because even though we do want our warriors to be close to our city, they are able to still provide movement and vision. So I'll probably send the 2nd warrior up here to provide vision to the northern part of the map for us. So we did get our first goody hut. And as you can see here, we do get to pick out one of these bonuses. So this says, diggers have uncovered evidence of forgotten waterworks. This could be used for farming or urban infrastructure. So now we get to pick out what do we want here. So 30 food in Chang'an, or we can provide production to the capital as well. Generally, we want to always pick the production. Production is king in Civilization 7. But what we're gonna go do here is look at the food. Food needed to grow population 61. And how many are we gaining per turn? We're gaining 7 per turn. So if we were to reduce our food needed by 30 by picking the 30 food. That means that we would still, what is 31 divided by 7? That is going to be 4. Well, we would need 4 more turns to grow our city. So that does reduce our ability to get this food, or to get the city growing online a little bit faster. And then it gains us more production generally there. Because I don't need this warrior actually immediately, I am... Oh, I found Genghis Khan apparently. Are you friend or foe? For your sake, I hope a peace-seeking friend. So, okay, so for here, the first time we meet a leader, we have the option to pick what kind of way that we want to greet them. Do we want to do a friendly greeting, neutral, or do I want to piss them off and do a hostile greeting? I'm going to select friendly greeting. We are not going to be focusing on war if we can help it. We want to be friends with Genghis, and if he can be our best friend, that would be actually so amazing. Okay, so here we have an interesting choice. So I used this term once before already, endeavors. So this is where an endeavor is something where you can hit up another leader. Stop. Yeah, why is it? Sorry guys, 1 second. Okay, sorry guys, the camera just keeps going into AI mode. Okay, so here, I can spend 60 influence to gain, this says, you receive +4 science per turn at minimum. If he supports my endeavor, we both gain 6 science per turn. I am considering doing this. Okay, so it takes 20 influence to befriend another leader if we run into them. In 1 more turn, I'll have 80 science, which will allow me to create a research collaboration with Genghis, helps become friends with Genghis, and then if I do see another leader next turn, I will still be able to befriend them because I'll have 20 at that point. The reason why I'm going to do science is because I want to, even though I talked about how I don't prioritize unlocking the science building early on, and we did talk about how we want to gain culture as quickly as possible. I do think that because we went down the production route, I am going to select the science option here. Or do I want to get culture? This is a tough choice. Because culture is actually ultimately what we need more than anything. And supercharging our culture does sound quite appealing. Let's do that. Let's do it. I'm gonna just see how this goes. So see, now we have 17 culture instead of 11, which is gonna ramp. I mean, what was that? 6. Oh, we had 11 before. We gained 6 culture. That is a more than 50% bonus to our culture that we're bringing in, which is huge. That's absolutely massive. So I do really like that choice, and I am actually going to take the food because I want to get another. So look at actually that. Why did that grow our population? Okay, well, I'll take it. So we're gonna grow our population again, and I accidentally did that. Where did I put that? Right here. I built a camp. Wait, what did I just do? where's the other improvement? Are they on top of it? Yeah. Was that the best? Probably. Oh, this is my camp. This is my camp. Was that the best? Probably not. Animal husbandry will help with making that decision more worthwhile, which is fine. You know what? You know what? It was fine. It was fine. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. We're doing woodcutters anyway. With our first technology, I'll be able to start doing mines quickly there. It's going to be all good. And that's the other thing when you play Civ 2. You really don't want to beat yourself up over some of these smaller choices. Of course, we want to try to be as strategic as possible with our moves, but this is a extremely long game. If you do make a small move, just know that if you're continually making really smart choices, that you will still be able to bounce back and still win the games. So don't just restart if you make a small mistake. Unless you're really, really early into your playing career and you just feel like you need every single advantage possible and you've got the time, that's totally up to you. So Genghis wants to open borders. We're going to do that. We are going to just want to be friends with Genghis because we do not want to feel the wrath of Khan. So now we have a choice: pottery or masonry. And I am actually going to go straight for masonry. That is probably a hot take, but I just feel quite confident about doing that. Okay, so we have the scout. I'm actually going to move him one more turn down to the south to give us a little bit more space, and then I'll do the search action again, and then we'll go ahead and unveil what's going on around this area. How's our other scout doing? He is doing great.
I protect thee.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do explore here. So no additional good hits. Oh, right here. Okay, so we are going to want to send him there. And then... So see, okay, so it was actually good that we didn't keep moving down here with our scout that first turn because this is just ocean. So we're actually just going to send him back. And we're going to send him north. Okay, so this was exactly what I was talking about. So I do want to be friends with everybody first. So we do want to make sure that we have at least 20 influence to be able to befriend another civilization's leader if they come to us. So he wants to do a culture exchange. That would have been really nice. Not going to do that, but we do get another 2 culture, which we will take. And we do get to choose a civic now, which is awesome. Okay, so here we have... So Han, I can build the wall. Science, buildings, gain 1 science for quarters. Influence on the palace. Yeah, see, this is a great one. So we do want to rush that eventually, but we are going to go with mysticism because we want to get to our pantheon as quickly as possible. And the great stele, if I can build it, I would also like to build that. So, okay. So now we have 2 warriors, 2 scouts. We just unlocked the saw pit. That is going to be our first building that we're going to go ahead and unlock. So a little bit of a tough choice here. So when the capital, you do want to build buildings that can receive adjacency bonuses around your capital. That is definitely the way to go. Like, I would love to build this building right here because it's a warehouse building and it does not get the bonuses. I can maybe build over this and unlock this tile, but that's not great either. I'll probably just end up building the saw pit here. It's the least detrimental. Like, I mean, I could do, yeah, let's just do it there. So the reason I didn't build it here is because this is also a woodcutter. So if I do want to just utilize that tile, I can, and I'll get some production out of it. This is just a flat farm. Not great. Okay. So now we're unlocking our government. Our government is going to give us some additional bonuses here. And we are, so this is actually really good. 30% production towards constructing buildings is crazy. But we do also really like culture or science, and this one is not bad if we want to go for some wonders. So I don't think we're going to do despotism because we should be pretty solid on science this game. That is hard to pass up. I think we're going to go oligarchy. Again, so with Ada, we should be able to generate enough culture and science. But with the oligarchy, this helps me with generating that in our cities, and especially with the new changes where buildings are more expensive, I think that this is going to be a massive help. So we are going to do production and science in the palace. That is just objectively going to be the best option for us, especially because we have some other bonuses for culture rolling right now. So let's go ahead and search here. So there's a little goody hut down there. We're gonna go grab that. What are we at? Wow, we're already at an hour. That's crazy. Okie dokie. So we are going to definitely accept that, get some extra gold, and go to the next turn. Okay. So let's send this guy up. Some more water up here. Okay, so we're pretty isolated. Like, this is not an easy map for them to come conquer. We are gonna definitely need to build up some ships so that we can defend ourselves from the ocean. And I do think that we're gonna probably want to settle this way first to make sure that we're kind of blocking off some of this land that's around this area. Like, it would be nice to get out to here and build a city here. So maybe taking out Shangle is one of our goals as well. Let's go ahead and send him this way, and we're gonna send our other warrior that way as well. But we'll wait until we have a military commander to do that. Okay. And then for our scout, yeah, he still wants to go there. Okay, so here's another city-state. How's this guy doing? He's chilling. They got the freaking goody hut. That's really annoying. Okay. Let's just send him here. Okay, so we've kind of unlocked all of the land. Okay, this is Genghis's guy. Where is Genghis? Did it show me his capital? I thought it should have shown me his capital. Hold on. Okay, next turn we should have our saw pit. Okay, so we got the goody hut down here. So this says, animals have broken from the confines of a wealthy noble's menagerie and run amok. They are no longer fit for the wilds, but clearly we're not happy. Okay, so this says I gain 45 science and 50 happiness towards the next celebration, but my scout takes 50 damage. Absolutely, we are doing that. That is just not even a question, because we will take a turn and heal you. That is no problem at all. We love that. Okay. So from here, I am going to send my guy this way. Because I do think that this scout, like, where is that? Like, where is that? All right. So from here, we're going to build a settler. And actually, how aggressive are we going to be? All right. So this is a tough choice. So we talked a lot about mementos before. Our memento, if we look up in the top left, we have 300 gold. That is mostly from our memento that started us at 200 gold. what we could do, 3 turns, we're going to get a settler. That's awesome. And I already kind of think I thought this through while I was about to explain this, but let me explain the choice that we have here. I'm going to get a settler. That's awesome. I think that I want to settle one of the cities right where Shangle is, which means I kind of need to take them out before I settle over here. I definitely want to settle over here to create a block, a choke point, maybe even like a fort town right here to prevent any type of invasion coming from the land up this way. So this will be like a defensive city, and I'll probably be able to put it 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's 6. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I mean this is the perfect spot because it perfectly blocks. So the reason I'm counting to 3, from your main city tile, your city can grow out 3 squares. So 1, 2, 3. That's the maximum square that this goes. So if I decide to put a city over here, I don't want it to overlap because I want it to gain the maximum tiles possible. So what I do is, if say I want to build it here, I want to make sure that it's not going to interrupt with my capital. So I need to count out. Okay, so what's the furthest that this city is going to go? It's going to go 1, 2, 3. So we're already on the maximum tiles away from this direction that this city can claim. So then from there, I go 1, 2, 3 is the maximum spaces that the next city is going to claim. But then I have to go 4 where the city center is going to be, because if the city center is here, it goes 1, 2, 3. So if I build a city here, there'll be no overlap between Chang'an and whatever this city is going to be called. But from here, what I also need to count out is, if I build the city here, am I going to be able to capture all the resources that I want in that area? So if I go 1, 2, 3, I don't capture the hides, which is something that I do really want. The other thing, now I could build a city up here later or something like that, because I could go 1, 2, 3, and this would make it eligible, and I would also be able to go 1, 2, 3 and capture this as well, because this goes 1, 2, 3. So this actually might not even be a terrible little like fishing boat town to just kind of claim all of this. So this is still heavily in play. So if I go 1, 2, 3, I do get the hides here, and I go 1, 2, 3. I am away from the volcano, so with still receiving some of the adjacency bonuses from the volcano. So I do think that this is going to be where we send our settler, and we're going to build a settlement right there. The other thing that I was going to mention before is I can get really aggressive, and I can just purchase a settler, and that would allow me to get 2 cities out very quickly. Now I could build it right here, and I could then claim all of the resources, which, I mean, that might not even be a terrible idea, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resources that I'm kind of just claiming by building that city. That actually sounds pretty appealing. But what I also could do is build this and then use the money to upgrade it to a city, which is what I do think I am ultimately going to do, because what did we talk about with Ada is our main strategy. We want to build settlements, and we want to upgrade them to cities as quickly as possible so that we can gain more science from our power, but also so that we can just build more of the buildings in general that are going to generate culture and science for us. So we are going to stick with that as the plan. And what we're also going to do is, actually, we're going to bring our soldier back over this way so that when our settlement is completed, the warrior can escort our settler over to the spot where we will be building our city. So we're going to move him a little bit more down. And then from here, actually, I'm going to move him 1 more over. And then we're going to use the Explorer again. So looks like Augustus claimed all of the goody huts in this area. That sucks, but that is fine. Okay, so these 2 are going to be going to this square here. here. So that is a little bit unfortunate. This is yellow. That means that there's no fresh water there. That means my city's happiness is going to be lower than what it normally would be. So from here, our main objective now is going to be to take out Shangle. So we do really want to get this archer going so that we can take him out. And then I do think that we are going to go for discipline after, so that we can gain our free army commander. And that is another reason why we do really want to get our culture up and running as much as possible. That scout, actually, we're going to just go ahead and put this scout next turn on auto explore. This guy can go park right there. Actually, we're gonna have him fortify right here.
There is another world.
So we got mysticism, so we will explain what we're going to do with that. This is really hard to pass up. Just such an immediate boost to our yields. But this is probably the best long-term option because it unlocks future mines. We're gonna go with this because we want to claim these tiles to start building, because I want to build the silver as quickly as possible. Okay, so we are gonna go with this one because we need to get our army commander so we can send it over to Shangle. Okay, so we're gonna choose a pantheon. So this is coming from our religion. When you build a religion, or when you found a religion, you get to pick out one of these bonuses that end up being kind of probably one of the most important things that you're going to pick throughout the whole game. So again, our biggest priorities are building buildings, tech mastery unlocks, and boosting up our science so that we can complete technology masteries and get as much culture back as possible. So let's look at a couple of these. This one is just a very good, solid one all around. Helps your cities grow faster. We may do this one. Culture on quarters and settlements, that's pretty solid. Food production on constructing buildings, that's really good, especially now. And that stacks with our what did we choose that helps us with the buildings? I forget. Science on quarters, that's also very good for us. Extra science, it's pretty dang good. This is traditionally seen as the best one, the stone circles, and I do have a lot of mines. It's gonna be hard for me to not pick that one. That just seems too good to pass up. Again, the reason why production ends up being so good is because you can literally, there's this thing called a research project or a festival. You can literally just convert your production into science or culture later in the game, and as well as that helping you build up your buildings that allow you to gain more yields. So I just think that's going to be a no-brainer for us. So we love the council day, yay! Oh, this is what we did. That helps us with our buildings, so that's pretty cool. Right now, we are probably going to, let's see, when are we going to be unlocking buildings soon here? Like how many buildings? So we do have some pretty crucial buildings that we are going to be building soon. So we're going to go ahead and hit that 30% production on buildings, and let's go ahead and gain our extra culture because we need that badly. And we're going to go ahead and build our altar. So for the altar, this is another tricky one. I think we're going to go ahead and build the altar right where the palace is because we don't want to destroy the altar literally ever in our entire game. And I think it is going to be a good standalone building to build here. So let's go ahead and do that. And we're going to put this guy on auto. And we're going to move our archer this way. And we're going to build... Yeah, we definitely want the... I'm going to put him on auto. So we definitely want to build our altar as quickly as possible. That is our biggest priority so that we can tap into the stone circles bonus. A couple more minutes here. Okay. And then let's see. see. Okay, so from here. So one of the logical things that you might think we want to do is build this tech mastery because we get bonuses from doing tech masteries, but we are going to hold off on that. I'm going to press on writing, which is going to auto queue pottery and then go right into writing. That is definitely the next thing that we want to do, because we're going to go ahead and start building our monument, and then we're going to build out the brickyard and then the library so that we can start cranking our science as quickly as we possibly can. And we're even going to go ahead and queue up the monument because that is absolutely something that we want to get up and running as soon as we possibly can. So why is this giving us so this says +1 for natural wonder or mountainous terrain. So is this on mountainous terrain? Natural wonder, or mountainous terrain. So where is this getting the yield to? So base yields 3.2. So this is the base yield. So why is this getting northeast? Okay, so this would get the capital adjacency. Why does that not get the northeast? This northeast. So why does that not get the bonus? I lose 2 production, 2 gold, and 2 happiness. This is a tough one. This is a tough one. 2 gold, 2 happiness, but I also lose the mine. Tough choice. Yeah, that counts as rough tundra, not mountainous terrain. Man. I am tempted to put it there. There's another mine. I need to keep the mines. I need to keep the mines. So we are going to put it right here. It just has to be done. So the benefit of getting rid of the saw pit, this is what I will say. Okay, these boys are trying to scrap. If I attack, it is a minor victory. So I'll go ahead and do that. Because we have our archer coming to support. Okay. One more turn and we get to build our settlement. Actually, let's just go here. Okay, this guy probably needs to run away. Okay, so he killed them. He's gonna heal, and he's gonna come here. So let's go ahead and move the warrior, move the settler, and build our city. And then let's see, 550. Okay, so that is why we kept the gold, because we really want to make sure that we're getting this upgraded to a city as quickly as possible. Oh my god, okay. I'm just beyond dumb. I mean, the good thing is that's not even the hide that I can get. That's freaking awesome. We're gonna go ahead and definitely get the wild game. So we're gonna still crank the capital. We want to make sure that that is getting as strong as possible. Okay, so we're growing the city again, and this time we are going to definitely claim the mine. Why couldn't I build the mine there? Maybe I need pottery. Okay, so he is going to, can I come over here? He's gonna go explore this way. And then the scout. Okay, so we found another guy. Let's go ahead and try to get their goody hut. Where's this guy going? Okay, he still needs to get a little further away before I want to use explore again. So my boy healed. Oh my god. Okay. 75 gold, 45 culture. Oh, that's really tough. The 75 gold is really helpful. I gotta do that because I gotta get to my city ASAP. Like, upgrading that is gonna be really big for us, so. They're gonna fortify because I need to heal that warrior first before he really does anything. There, okay, so that's good. He should be safe because the river should block them from attacking me. Yeah, just like that. Cool. Okay, so that is an influence-based one, but that is an unfriendly. So I am going to move him back. But that's great. So that's where that initial scout that we saw early in the game came from. And the monument is built. So we have a lot of influence. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to Augustus and let's get a research going and let's get a culture going. These two. So we want to boost our culture and science. So the question is settler or archer? Or just do this really fast. I'm gonna just do this really fast. Food, even though that's only one food, I mean, it's terrible. Like, it's truly terrible. We will build a farm in that city eventually.
Do nothing which is of me.
Quarters get bonuses. It gives me +1 culture and science. It's a ageless building, so I will have it the whole game. Okay, so we got discipline. Do I do code of laws to get a merchant? No, we gotta build Han. Time for Han. And then this is amazing. Got our army commander. Yeah, we're gonna switch to the building. I should have built the archer first. I didn't realize how many guys. Yeah. Okay. No. Let's do that. I just wanted to move both of them back, and I ended up switching them. Yes, I know you're not friendly.
All
Did I just kill my archer, like, for nothing? Yeah, maybe I shouldn't even have. Oh! Maybe I shouldn't have even built the scout. Or the granary. I should have just built another archer. That's rough. So that's rough terrain, right? Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna move on to this, and he won't be able to attack. So I am safe. Okay. So for this one, I really want to get these hides. That's like my main thing that I want. So I'm gonna try to build out to there. Da shuriken. Oh yeah, science on fortification buildings. We don't need that. So we're gonna build a brickyard. And we're gonna build a brickyard right there because we don't need another farm. Okay, so let's have this scout go down this way. Okay, so here. We're going to move him here. Why did he move? This is a tricky one. Stop! Stop, 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 stop. Lots of culture, which is great because we really want to get to our culture stuff. Okay, so this is good because this guy's as good as dead. And then does this take him out? I'm okay losing it. Oh shit. Getting a little tricky. Oh, that's only 500 now. Thanks. So that's what we wanted. Okay, and then let's build. Heal 25. 3 combat when attacking, -2 when defending. Those soldiers' bodies lie in rows before the enemy. So did he die? No. Heal or more combat. I'm gonna heal. It seems bad, but whatever. The soldier exhales slowly and rests the new against their hip. Target in sight. The soldier cocks the lever forward and back, releasing a slew of arrows in rapid succession. They look like shooting stars dancing across the sky. That's cool. I do like. This is a cool little thing. I don't know why it doesn't do this every time, but that's fine. Okay, my option is science or a free soldier. I gotta take the free soldier. That's just tough, dude. And I'm kind of getting attacked. Okay, gotta promote our commander, and we're obviously doing assaults. And these boys need to heal, but this guy is going to go. Army. And then, okay. So we built our brickyard. That's awesome. I think we want to do a settler now. And I am happy we didn't buy the settler because we literally used our memento to get an expansionist point so that we could just build settlers more easily. So that was definitely the way to go there. Okay. Dang. Me dumb. Yes, hello Benji. All right, and we're gonna be wrapping up pretty soon here. This game, oh my god, I can.
The truth to.
It is so crazy how many,
Greeting.
how quickly I can just dive into a massive game of this. Like, I'll just go all day. Let's see. 2 influence on the palace. My archers are better at defending science and capital. Do that because I'm not gonna fight too much. We definitely want the center. Alright, and then we're just gonna send the settler like right behind the army. Excuse me. Chill, dude. All right, we're gonna wrap it up soon. I'm gonna try to see if I can take Shango really fast, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Yeah, I need that size. Thank you, Benji. Got the first piece of the Great Wall. Hell yeah. Should we build a Shi Dai Fu just to see? No. Okay, unpack. So I want you there, and I want you there, and then I want you to shoot this motherfucker. And I want you. I don't give a shit. Okay. Yep. Keep on coming. You need to go there, and you need to go right here. I would like you to heal. Oh, my scout died over here. Oh no, I'm an idiot. I need to do explore with that. I'm just kidding. Okay, hopefully I can take this out and we can just build our city and be done.
The spoke.
Okay. Alright, I gotta heal this guy. 50 science, 50 culture, happiness. Let's see. So we did get writing. So then, what's the next most important thing for us? Probably sailing. So 50 science or 50 culture. Weirdly, I'm gonna still do this. Thank God I built that archer, dude. It's like the most clutch free unit that ever existed. And that city might need a... That was both the archers? There we go. All right. So now, so Kapua is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I build it right here. 1. So it's the red. So he really fucked it up with Kapua right there. I'm curious what this land is down here. I'm gonna risk it. Oh! Oh my gosh. Okay, library. +6. Where's my archer? Yep. We got a lot going on. Thank you, Himiko. Okay. So, another narrative choice. Science on the altar, culture on the altar. Definitely science. Because that's a max amount. So that's what we're looking for. We're always take the codex. Build the... Wow, we're cranking. That's great. We're going to build an archer. It was so funny. I literally said 9:30 and I said, oh, just after this. I do want to see what's down here. I'm very curious.
Nukangani Pachakute.
Pachacute. Pachacute. Just make sure you can get to the center. Is this city about to get cranked? Was that like too early to settle? Like, is that not something you can do anymore? Okay. Okay, last thing. All right. 1, 2, 3. So this is all terrible. This is all really terrible. One, two, three. If I do it 1, 2, 3, it doesn't even connect the two. If I do it right here, it's 1, 2, 3. So this does connect the two cities, but is that even worth it? Like, I get all this mountain terrain, which literally does nothing. So then, so this is 1, 2, 3. So then 1, 2, 3. Not a great place to put it, no matter what. And this is clay. I mean, that's really good. Yeah, I think I have to build it right here. let's just see if I can build that, and then we'll be done. Build another settler. Dude, there's no way that my city is gonna die. It's crazy.
The fair breeze.
That is so wild that I'm gonna have my city get killed. So this is what I was talking about. New stuff. Making it hard. At least that guy's not coming after me anymore. No, you know what I might need to do? Because this guy can't die. He cannot die. Like, can you just chill? Can you just chill off me, dude? All right. Well, that's going to be it for me because that was
Riches
just the
and
worst
honors
turn of
acquired.
all time. So, well, great getting back into Civ. Loved explaining everything. Thought it was a really great first stream. Let me go ahead and go full screen. So really appreciate anyone who stopped by. Really excited to get going on Civ. I think it's going to be a little bit better for how I want to do the channel moving forward. It is going to be me doing live streams. I'm going to post them, try to chop them up a little bit to make them a little bit more consumable. But yeah, really excited. By the way, too, I am going to be trying to do shorter streams just so that I have as much energy as possible. I'm trying to keep it close to an hour of streaming time. I went a little bit over today, and I can already feel myself getting a little bit tired and the talking kind of reducing a little bit. So just trying to make sure I'm coming with 100% energy for you guys as I get used to the streaming thing and until my chat gets going, because I do think the chat's going to really help with keeping me engaged throughout the entire thing. But right now, as it stands, just a little tough, just chilling here alone. So really, really, yeah, I mean, I'm just stoked about how everything's been going so far. Had a really fun time today. I'll probably end up restarting the game just because looks like we had a terrible start. Or I'll play it out, see kind of what we can do, or just kind of load 2 turns ago because the settler dying is just so depressing. I already made a bad decision having him go down. I should have just settled a couple turns ago when I was up there, but regardless, thank you so much for stopping by the stream. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I will be doing another stream on Saturday. So thank you guys so much for your time. Once again, this is Cool S signing out. Peace.